Are you curious about how to promote your charity or nonprofit event? Well, if you are, in the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you some of the things I've learned over the years about promotion for charity and nonprofit events. Interestingly, it has changed recently. In the past, there were a lot of things we didn't have. I mean, we didn't have social media to promote it. We didn't have email. We didn't have some of the same ways to promote. So let's talk about social media as a way to promote your charity event. Yes, posting on social media, but I'll tell you what, the way that social media continues to change, it is so hard to determine, is your message getting in front of the people that you need it to be in front of? Now, granted, for instance, on Facebook, you can do Facebook advertising. You can boost a post. Facebook advertising, I did that for one of my nonprofit clients where we were doing a capital campaign. We had 2 months to raise $550,000. And we had somebody on our volunteer committee that said, I know somebody who can help us do this. And I said, great, just go for it. I was surprised at how well it worked because you're able to segment the database, segment the social media. You tell it you want this general area, you want this age group, and somebody that's interested in whatever topic it is. So for us, it was fairly successful of them going to the actual website. We didn't have good measures to know from our analytics how many of those people actually gave, but we saw a huge uptick in the people who saw the Facebook ad and then clicked to our website. So don't count out social media as a way to advertise your event. It is pretty inexpensive advertising, and I would do Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, those 4, and especially, and then there's some other ones out there that you could do too. So number 1, social media. Buying advertising. There are some things that when we talk about buying advertising, I'll say, I don't know if it's worth it. But when you're doing a major event, especially for us living in Vail, Colorado, and we have these second homeowners, it is so important for us to get it in the newspaper because the newspaper's online too. And as far as getting on local radio stations, so I believe in buying advertising. Email. So we are in a delete happy world. We get so much email. However, sometimes your email is going to get read. And if you have a compelling tagline, if you have a compelling message, people will click on it, especially if they believe in what your nonprofit is doing. So it's multi-channel. You can't just do one thing to promote your charity event. You need to have a really good mailing list, and your mailing list needs to include people who have been donors to your organization in the past, people who are current donors to the organization, and then people you want to be donors. One of the ways that we used to prospect for new donors was we would look at new people who moved into town, new people who bought houses, and then we would send them a certificate where they could come to a show, or we would give them access to one of our exclusive events. And it works fairly well. And so for you to get new people in on your mailing list and into your event, you've got to work on that mailing list for the whole year. Your board of directors, that is one of the best ways for you to get out there and advertise your event, is your board of directors. And so what that means is you equip them with what they need to go out and market the event. So it's an invitation. It's a one-page description of what the organization is. It talks about this fun event that you're going to put on and that they don't want to miss it. Sometimes it helps to have a smaller venue for your event, so you can say, we only have 100 seats. And when those seats sell out, that's all there are, because that gives it a sense of urgency. Don't count out the local media. Sometimes the local media will give you an exchange where they will give you some advertising and you can give them a seat at the table. The same like for your photographer, it's possible that you can do some kind of an exchange with them. And then of course there's corporate sponsors. So corporate sponsors a lot of times are overlooked when we talk about these nonprofit charity events. And what they have, a lot of corporations have a fund that they can use for events, that they can use for sponsorships of events. And to get your event paid for before you plan it, which is Robin's rule of what you need to do if you're going to plan an event, if you go out and get sponsors, corporate sponsors beforehand, that will certainly help. So when you talk about an event, identify 3 new partners that you'd like to have in that event, 3 new sponsors, and start out there and then go back to the sponsors that you have had each year. Try to get a celebrity that's an advocate for your organization. And if it's, for instance, a golf tournament, have that celebrity play with a group of people and sell that. So, literally tell them that, okay, for X amount, you can play with this golfer. And then you're going to have volunteers for whatever kind of event that you have. That's a great way to promote it. The more volunteers you have, the better, because then you can ask them about working at the event. And if they work at the event, then they get to be there, and then they tell all their friends, oh, I'm working at this event. And then their friends want to go. And then one of the key pieces of how to promote your charity event is the follow-up afterwards. Because then when you call people and say, hey, just wanted to know what you thought of the event, if you have any recommendations for us, and that's so unusual that then they will tell their friends, oh, I went to that event and they called and asked me what I thought. And then there are some volunteers that you will strategically choose, and those will also help promote your event because they are the ones that are your advocates. They're the ones that are out there promoting your event. They might not be the ones who can give the most, but they may have friends who then can give. And then promoting your charity event is easy, because what you're doing is you're pushing it out and letting other people promote it for you. And that word of mouth is going to get you more shares on social media. It's going to get you more people involved than any other paid advertising that you can do. Well, thanks for joining me today. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and every time I have a video come out, you'll know about it. So thanks for being here.